Welcome back to CryptoWealthy channel, guys. In today's video we're going to discuss about Bitcoin price halving, pre and post halving, what Bitcoin could actually do in the next period of time and what it did actually in the previous two halvings and since the beginning of the Bitcoin itself. And now let's jump right into it. So we are standing over here on the BLX chart, and as we can see, since the beginning of the Bitcoin itself, we can see that the Bitcoin has been making the higher lows constantly over here, and we had the big pumps before them. Now, one very interesting fact over here is that before having happened, we had dumps. If we measure the first dump of the first halving in 13 August 2012, since then the biggest dump was on approximately around 40%, which means that the price went all the way down from $15 to $9.5 over here, and after that it started to consolidating on the day of the halving and a few days afterwards. Now, what surprises me over here is how Bitcoin actually started to surge to the upside without warning the traders at all. If we see over here, we had a consolidation which we can measure, and we can see approximately 48 bars, which is 1.5 to 2 months consolidation just into one place, which is approximately around 13.5 to approximately $12.67, which is total stagnation. The reason why this is happening is when you see the low volume and the price is actually stagnant in the place, that means that the big move is about to come. Now, we still don't know where is it going, up or down, but one is sure, the big move is about to come. So the same thing actually happened over here. The volume was probably very low, and after that the Bitcoin actually starts surging to the upside. Now, if we move a little bit ahead over here, probably most people over here thought that in 1 to 2 days the Bitcoin bull market is over here, and the big dump occurred, which is 75 to 76% over here, and after that Bitcoin started actually the major rally to the upside, which led to hit this big trend line. And if we measure those pumps, we can see 1600%, which is insane for the Bitcoin if we compare this rally to this one. Many people thought that this is going to be a peak or this is going to be a bear market over here, which was just pre-accumulation phase for the real bull market. Also, interesting thing that we can compare, or let's say do a fractal analysis over here, is that the consolidation that the Bitcoin had also as it had over here. The total stagnation actually led Bitcoin to the new bull market, which means the volatility has been reduced, and after that the big pump had to occur, because with the big volume Bitcoin had a good volatility, which actually happened over here. And when the stagnation happened, means, as I told you, that the big move is yet to come. No matter if it's on the upside or to the downside, the big move is yet to come. After this peak, of course, we can see the big bear market, which led us to 80 to 81% dump over here, where the Bitcoin actually bottomed out on 28th of August and started the new bull phase. Also, very interesting thing and fact that we need to have in mind also after this halving is that the Bitcoin never ever visited the lows that it had in the previous rallies, or let's say previous dumps. Over here we never ever saw $2 again after this pump. We never ever saw $5 after this pump. So coming again on 17th July 2016, over here we can see that this halving actually also hit the road of pump and dump. Now this time this was very near to halving, and we had a big pump, massive pump to $780 over here, when the Bitcoin actually managed to dump all the way to $490, which also led to some sort of a consolidation and stagnation over here, which means that the volume has been dropping significantly, which led, of course, again I repeat, to the big pressure pump to the upside. So this is the moment when the Bitcoin actually dumped over here all the way to $480, and after that, after a few years, we actually managed to hit $20,000. Again, very interesting fact that we never ever saw those prices, those lows that the Bitcoin has been made since then date. Now if we zoom in a little bit after this halving over here, we had a pretty significant dump, and if we measure it, it was approximately 61 to 62%, which means that the big dump that we had over here, or let's say smaller dumps than this one, this one was pretty significant and artificial, because we managed to actually broke this big trend line that Bitcoin was respecting in the previous 10 years or so. So the worst case scenario over here by my calculation is to actually visit this trend line on the way to the upside, which means that we are going to have some sort of a consolidation phase over here, drop in volume, or let's say reaccumulation phase. Why I do think this will happen is because the many people had dumped Bitcoin over here. I doubt that someone will actually sell Bitcoin right here when they had a chance to sell it over here, over here, over here, over here, all the way to the downside. So I don't think that a post-halving dump will happen so significantly, but there is a possibility to see some sort of a correction to $8,000 maximum. Even if we actually manage to see $8,000 revisited, then we are again going to actually break this trend line, which I don't think it will happen. As I mentioned, Bitcoin never ever visited those lows that it had on the way to the upside over here, and right now we are making one significant low over here, which is $9,000, and I don't think once we start breaking this high over here, we're not going to see this low ever again. Of course, for the Bitcoin, it's much harder right now to push to the upside and break this high over here, and one of the reasons for that is as the price is becoming more and more higher, the need for market capitalization is bigger and bigger to actually leave the price on the bigger levels. But even so, the halving is here to help and reduce the circulation of the Bitcoins in general, which could lead us to around approximately $80,000 to $90,000 per one Bitcoin eventually, once the halving hits the road of effect. So make sure to observe this area over here of $9,000, because Bitcoin right now is entering into this reaccumulation phase, which we can call the boring time for the Bitcoin before starts moving to the upside. If we draw this trend line correctly, we should not see the bigger drop than $8,500 over here. And if we switch on the normal chart of the Bitcoin, we can see that the Bitcoin is holding pretty good and strongly above this big trend line that we were discussing in the previous videos, and it does not have any plans whatsoever to actually break all these levels and visit $8,000 all over again, because that could be diminishing of the whole chart over here that we were discussing about in today's video. As I mentioned, I will repeat once again, as long as we are above $8,000, we are bullish. As long as we are above 20 exponential moving average on daily chart, we are extremely bullish on the Bitcoin right now. For now, there is no any facts whatsoever to be worried about price right now, because we are consolidating above this trend line, and as long as we are consolidating above, even so if the Bitcoin price is following downtrend over here, we are safe to actually reaccumulate support over here and push to the upside. I think this is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. We discussed about long-term perspective on the Bitcoin and having what could actually happen in the next weeks or so. And if you have any idea what would you like to watch in the next videos, let me know in the comment section down below. I want to thank each last one of you for watching our videos, ladies and gentlemen. As always, till the next episode, happy trading and goodbye.